Hello, hi, welcome. MSJVR is my initials, but you can all call me by my nickname, which is Nika. Today I'm going to be making my own cushion foundation by mixing all my foundations together. But before we continue, consider subscribing if you like the content and would like to stick around. Anyway, let's get on to the video. Okay, so for today's video, I thought it'd be super fun to mix all of my foundations together. I saw Sophia Nygaard do this a couple years ago, and I've always wanted to do it for my own foundations, you know? I just wanted to try and mixing all these different foundations I have in my collection and to see what the results are. To be honest with you, I think that's just super fun to find out. However, I also always wanted to try a cushion foundation. Unfortunately, I can't really find any cruelty-free brands that offer cushion foundations within my shade range. So, I've always wanted to try and make my own cushion foundation. So I got a case. So I got this case off of Amazon, and it's super cool. It's super pretty too, like look at that. Super pretty, super glittery. And I think this is a really decent size, and I can't wait to mix all my foundations into this and see what the results are, because I think it'll be so fun. So that is what today's video is going to be about. So yeah, all the foundations you are seeing are exclusively foundation shades and foundation formulas that I particularly love for me and my skin type. Additionally, my skin type is very oily, like I get super oily in my T-zone, my nose, here, and here, so I get super oily. So hence why a lot of these foundations are going to be a matte formula. So if that's not your vibe, then that's cool. Like, I know not everyone likes a matte formula, but as an oily skin gal, this is my jam. These are my jams. Anyway, so this is what the cushion foundation looks like. It's super gorgeous. Also, that's my ring light shining, so please don't mind that. But it's a really gorgeous, pretty cover. And this is what it looks like. And that's what it looks like. So it's an empty one. And you know what's crazy? Now let's see if this works. Just... oh. Satisfaction, my dudes. That's satisfaction. Anyway, so this is what the cushion foundation looks like. It's super empty, but you can also easily pop it out. The cushion's here, by the way. You can easily pop it out from the back. Like this. And then this is what it looks like, and then you take that out, and then you take the spongy bit out. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting my foundations into this little section of the cushion foundation puff. I'm then going to be placing this on top and then pushing the colour through using like a toothpick. So that is essentially what I'm going to be doing today. And here are all the foundations I'm going to be mixing into this cushion. So I have a lot of foundations, but also these are all foundations that I love to use and that I enjoy using them. A lot of my foundations, as you can probably tell, have different shades, or I've got doubles because they're in different shades, and that is because I haven't been able to find my proper shade in certain foundations, in particular the Revolution line of foundations. For some reason, I match F8. That's perfect for my skin tone, but it has the wrong undertone, so I have to mix it with F9.5, which is the correct undertone for me, but it's just too dark, so I mix the two together. Okay, so the first foundation I'm going to be including in this weird DIY cushion foundation amalgamation of all my foundation shades. That's a long weird sentence. And the first foundation I'm going to be putting is this e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation in the shade Linen. I personally really like this foundation. It's got more of a, again, satin finish, so it's not my preferred foundation finish, but I quite like using it actually. I think I'm going to be putting about a pump or so in. I think that's the best thing to do, so pump it is. I think I'm going to do like a pump of each, and then if I feel like I need to add more, I will add more. Okay, so the next foundation I want to talk about is this. So this is the Superdrug B Filter Finish Foundation. I have only recently started using this because I loved their old foundation so much. which I'm going to be including in today's video. I love the Be Flawless Matte Finish Foundation, and I was very, very curious to see if this newer foundation was going to hold up to the standards of their previous foundation. And honestly, I really, really like this one as well. It is more of a medium finish, and it's definitely more of a natural finish foundation, which again, very, very different than what I usually love. But I'm really, really interested, and I really, really have been enjoying this foundation so far. Let's squeeze a little bit in there with you. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I think that's enough. I think I might have squeezed a bit too much, but it's fine. So let's do that. Okay, so the next foundation is another unexpected contender that I didn't think I was going to like, but I genuinely really, really like using, is the NYX Born to Glow foundation. I have mine in the shade Medium Olive, and I really, really like this foundation. Honestly, I never thought I would, because I'm not really into the glowy formulas because of my oily skin. I don't need to add any more glow when my skin naturally produces it, so I tend to try and avoid these particular foundations, but for some reason I love this one. Okay, anyway, so the next foundations are these. So these are the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate foundations. So I had a tough time with this foundation, but I genuinely do like it, especially when when my skin tends to be more normal. I do tend to prefer the Conceal and Hydrate, and it is an enjoyable foundation. I've had trouble with shade matching myself from the Revolution range. Put one pump. I think I'm gonna have to do like 2 pumps of everything in a bit, but I'll do that afterwards. Okay, so now I'm gonna be putting in the shade F9.5. Squeeze. There you go. Okay guys, the next foundations is actually from Revolution's new brand, which is the XX Revolution Double Fix foundation. So this is their matte foundation. I do potentially want to try their glow foundation because I heard that's quite good. Anyway, so these are the matte foundations from the new Revolution brand, which is XX Revolution, and I really, really like the formula of this. This lasts amazingly well against my oily skin, amazingly well, and I love the packaging. I love how sleek it is. I'm now going to be putting the shades F8 and F9.5 into this cushion. So F8, yeah, I think I'm going to have to like double up on like putting in foundation. Okay, so I'm now going to be putting in the shade FX 9.5. There you go. The next foundations I'm going to have a little bit of a hard time to include and add into this concoction, which is the Revolution Conceal and Define foundations. I have 3, and before you ask, I have 3. It's because, again, I was very, very much struggling with shade matching myself. Also, because of the applicator, I can't throw it away, hence why I'm keeping all the shades, even the ones that don't match me well. I'm still keeping them, and I'm still trying to use them up. The shades F8, F8.5, and F9.5, and I really, really love this foundation. I think I actually did a review on this foundation. Yes, I've done a review for this foundation on my channel, which I'll link in the iCard and in the description below for you to watch after watching this video. I really, really like this foundation, and I also really, really love the applicator, even though it's very unhygienic. I love this. I love this. I love how it's just this huge concealer wand, and it's just this huge doe foot applicator. I don't know why. I think it's just fun. I just think it's a fun applicator. But anyway, here it is. This one's the shade F8. Let's drag some product out. I think I can prod some out more. I'll do it 4 times for each one. In a mess. Okay, so the next foundation I want to talk about is the Be Flawless Matte Finish Foundation, which I also have done a review on. Link in the description and in the iCard. Shameless self-promotion after this video. I adore this foundation. I have mine in the shade W3 and W4, and you guys, these have been my holy grail foundations for the past like 4 to 5 years. Is it 4 to 5 years? 4 years. It's been my holy grail foundation for the past 4 years. I have gone through like 6 of these. in those 4 years, and I love this foundation. It's just beautiful on the skin. It looks amazing. It has this matte finish, but it's more of like a natural matte finish. It doesn't look cakey, and it just complements your skin, and it just looks like your skin. It looks like your skin, and it's such a heavy duty foundation. Like, I've worn this for over 12 hours and it still looked good. But yeah, I really, really love this foundation, and I just wanted to share it with you all today. So yeah, I'm going to now put in the shade W3, which is this one. There you go. Okay, so the next foundation is another one of my favorite drugstore foundations, which is these. So these are the MUA Pro Base Longwear Matte Foundations. This is a phenomenal foundation for £5. I cannot wait to do a foundation review on it because it's just a wonderful foundation. Funny story, I think I've mentioned this in a favorites video actually, which I'll link again in the iCard and in the description. I work as a part-time waitress, and when we did not wear masks at the time, I would wear makeup, and this is the foundation I would always wear just because it's so easy to just slather it on your face, blend it out, do the rest of your makeup and go. It's just a super easy, fast and convenient foundation, and I actually got complimented by some customers. They thought that my face was my skin, and I remember every time I served these customers, they'd always go, "Wow, you have such lovely skin." In my head I'm thinking that's just a weird sentence to say to someone. Like, if you went up to someone and you go, "Wow, lovely skin," in my head I was also thinking, wow, I'm literally wearing foundation. I'm wearing this foundation that you're seeing right now, and you think it's my skin? Wow, okay. And hence why I'm very, very fond of this foundation. Okay guys, so the final foundation that I'm going to be talking about is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation, and I have the shade Buff and Medium Olive. I am planning to do a foundation review based on these foundations because I love this foundation. This foundation, whatever it claims to be, sweat proof, bulletproof, okay, maybe not bulletproof, that's being dramatic, that's being very dramatic, but sweat proof, waterproof, like smudge proof. It has done the job. It has done an amazing job, and it looks amazing on the skin. Okay, so I'm now going to be putting the shade Buff in first into this, and I'm now going to put in the shade Medium Olive, and this is one pump. Okay guys, so I've officially constructed my DIY cushion foundation, and here it is. Look at it, you guys. Like, I'm very proud of it. It looks like it has a little bit of product in it. I will say though, I am not going to be swatching it on my face today because it is very, very late now. It is currently exactly midnight. Whilst I'm finishing off this section of the video. So as you see, this is the process of what it looks like. Tap it in. Oh, that's a very, very interesting shade. That's a very, very interesting shade, and well, of course using a puff it's going to have a very, very different amount of coverage, but it looks pretty good. Okay guys, so it's the next day and I've just prepared my skin. I've put a little bit of primer and powder on my skin, and I'm now gonna go and test out the cushion foundation that I made last night. So it looks like this, and here it is, and that looks a lot darker. I will say this though, I do have natural lighting at the moment, and both my ring lights are on, but at the lowest setting, just because then you can have somewhat of an accurate lighting throughout the whole video, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping throughout the whole video the lighting is, you know, maintained and a little bit accurate, so yes. Okay, so I've zoomed you all in, and we're now gonna go and dip into the cushion and we're gonna... Okay, it comes out a lot lighter. Yeah, it's coming out a little lighter and it's coming to look like it somewhat actually matches me really well. Ooh. Okay, so let's just keep going. I'm having a lot of fun putting this on my face, I'm not gonna lie. Also, there's a lot of coverage. Like, a lot of coverage. I hope you guys can see that my spot here has been covered. I'm gonna show you my forehead super quickly, so you can see that this is uncovered skin versus covered skin. So far, it's really soft, and it's super fun to like just do this on your face, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to do this all the time. I wouldn't know if I would want to use a foundation cushion all the time, so yes. So this is my forehead. Let's cover it up. This is what it looks like so far. Also, as you can see, it has predominantly covered most of my redness and spots on my forehead, but you can still somewhat see it coming through. I don't know if it's because of the formula. Let's try and cover this up. Okay, so you can definitely layer this somewhat, so it's not too bad. And the funny thing is though, like touching it with my hand, it feels like I need to mattify it, but looking at it in real life and in a mirror and on camera, it just looks like I do not need to powder my face. But I feel like I do, if that makes sense. Like by touching the foundation with my fingers, it feels like I need to go and powder my face. But at first glance, it looks like I don't. So that's pretty strange. It has kinda started to cling onto the tiniest bit of dry patches, but I honestly think it could be because of the method of how I do my foundation reviews, which is I put primer on first, I then dust the tiniest bit of powder in areas that are my oiliest, so my T-zone, and then I go in with a foundation and then I go in with a loose powder. So this is what the foundation looks like with no powder. It's a very, very full coverage foundation, so that tells me that I predominantly favor a full coverage foundation over sheerer or medium coverage ones, so that's a very, very interesting fact. Okay, so comparing what I've seen, and bear in mind I haven't put it down my neck for the purpose for this video, so we can actually compare my natural skin tone to the foundation itself. It looks like I have the correct undertone. So at first glance, it looks like, especially on camera, it looks like I've just, you know, like it's my skin color. It looks really, really good. In real life, it definitely matches me super well. I will say though, at this part, I don't know why, but this part looks a little bit more warm toned. So maybe that is where my more warm tone foundations are. So that would be the Revolution ranges. So in particular the shades F8, because those shades in particular have a predominantly more warm undertone. So I can kind of see where that warmness is coming from. Okay guys, so I've just turned my ring lights off very, very briefly so we can actually compare what it looks like on its own with no artificial lighting, just natural lighting, and it looks pretty good. On camera it looks like I've matched it super well. It looks pretty good. On this side, I can definitely see tiniest bit of patches of warm undertone, but that could literally be just me not mixing it well, so I apologize for that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is now powder my face, so I'm going to be using the same powder that I use for every single foundation review, which is the Barry M Ready Set Smooth powder. I'm going to be using the shade Translucent. Okay, so I hope you can see the line of where I mattified my face. Okay, so this side with no artificial lighting is the foundation on its own. That's what it looks like. And then this side with no artificial lighting is what the foundation looks like with powder. And this side with artificial lighting is the foundation on its own. And this side of the foundation is with powder and artificial lighting. So that's what it looks like. Okay, so the foundation itself looks amazing with and without artificial lighting. I will say though, I hope you can see with artificial lighting, it has somewhat made a patch here where the powder has kind of clinged onto it and made this section of my face lighter, and these parts of my face are a little bit patchy and a little bit darker. So I'm guessing I just didn't blend in the foundation well enough, so that's just my mistake. But so far it looks pretty good. It looks super smooth, but I can see around my nose it can get really cakey when you add too much powder. So in particular around this section, I can definitely see that it can get super cakey. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the rest of my face off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is what my makeup is looking like with all the products on top of the foundation. So I'm going to zoom you in very briefly. So this is what the other makeup products look like on top of my foundation. I would put some lipstick on, but I'm actually going to be on call quite soon with my teaching partner because I'm actually tutoring a class right now. And I don't want to look too glam for just teaching a class. So yeah, this is what all the products look like on top of each other, and I think it looks pretty good, although I wish I didn't intensify the highlighter a little bit because I've been preferring more of a natural glow. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is spray my face. So we're going to be using the Barry Flawless Mist and Fix Makeup Setting Spray Matte Finish. So the matte setting spray. Again, this is the setting spray I use for all of my foundation reviews. So let's go and spray my face. Okay, so now that I've sprayed my face, I'm gonna go zoom you in for one last time so you can see how everything looks together. Okay, so this is what everything looks like with the setting spray on. It looks a lot more smoother, and I really like how this foundation is looking at the moment. Like, who knew by mixing up foundations you're gonna get something strange that actually might work for you. And this is what it looks like in natural lighting and no ring lights. So this is what it looks like. Okay guys, so it is almost, it is 11:30 in the evening, I hope you can see, and I have been picking at this spot by accident, so please do not mind that. I promise I won't pick at it again. But yeah, this is what my face looks like at the 12-hour mark. So I'm going to zoom you in so you can see everything in the full shebang. So this is what my face looks like at 12 hours of wearing this foundation. Okay, so since I literally just DIY'd my own cushion foundation for the sake of it, because, you know, I wanted to just mix all my foundations into a cushion foundation, the outcome of it has been surprisingly really good. In particular, I am very surprised with how the foundation has lasted on my face. And again, because my face, although it is oily, it isn't so oily that I want to take it off. It's almost natural and dewy even after 12 hours, and I think that's pretty darn good. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below, what did you think of this really weird DIY mixing in all my foundations into a cushion foundation? Like, has this been a fun video? Did you guys enjoy? And has it been useful enough that you guys want to do the same? Please let me know. And finally, you guys, consider subscribing if you like the content and would like to stick around. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye!